Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 7.7, Middle Value or Median of a Set of Data. The materials that you'll need today, notebook paper, pencil, math journal, your template, and then HomeLink 7.7. If you don't have HomeLink 7.7, that's okay, still follow along with the lesson, and then you can write your answers on either your notebook paper or a whiteboard. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is go over our math boxes from the previous lesson. So if you can open up your math journal to page 175. If you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. So for our first question, show 3 possible ways to make 40 cents. So the ways that I showed, a quarter, which is 25, a dime brings me to 35, and a nickel to 40. 4 dimes, a dime is 10 cents, so 10, 20, 30, 40. And then 2 dimes brings me to 20, and then 4 nickels. So I'm at 20, then I can count 25, 30, 35, and 40. There's more than 3 ways to make 40 cents, so you maybe have some ways that are different than mine, and that's okay. For question number 2, 2 bunches of bananas. Each bunch has 5 bananas. How many bananas in all? So I have my 2 bunches, 5 per bunch. And so I know that 2 times 5, or thinking 5 plus 5, equals 10. So my total is 10 bananas. For our next question, number 3, let me get my page back to where it should be. There we go. For question number 3, what is the temperature? And so you should have had 47 degrees, choice D. For question 4, which number is the most popular or the mode? And I can see that that is 12 because 12 happens the most times. For question 5, make a ballpark estimate, then solve the problem. So I rounded 52 to 50 and 29 to 30. 50 minus 30 equals 20. And then for solving, so I can't take 2 minus 9. I have more on the floor, so I need to go next door. My 5 becomes a 4. My 2 becomes a 12. I know that 12 minus 9 equals 3, and then 4 minus 2 equals 2, giving me an actual answer of 23. For question 6, write less than, greater than, or equal to in the box. And I know that 1/3 is less than 2/3. So double check to make sure you have your page correct before moving on to the next part of the lesson. And so for this part, you don't have to write anything down, but if you can just listen and follow along. So when we describe data, we do this in a few different ways. So we can find the mode, where we're finding that number that happens the most times or that happens the most often. When we talk about the maximum, we're talking about the largest number. When we're talking about the minimum, that's going to be the smallest number. The range is the difference between the largest and the smallest number. So the range is when you're taking the maximum minus the minimum to get the difference. Now the one that we're going to focus on today is the median. And the median is the middle number of a data set. So if you can see that the first thing we need to do is put those numbers in order from smallest to largest. And sometimes we have more than one of the same number. So notice how they had 4 2s. So they listed 2 4 different times. Then what I like to do is I like to start then crossing off my smallest and then crossing off my biggest. And I keep crossing them off until I only have one number left. So in this example, our median, our middle number, was 2. Let's practice some together today using that HomeLink. So if you can take out HomeLink 7.7. So in this example, we have some students that scored some points. And so what we want to do first is we want to put the points in order from the smallest amount of points to the largest amount of points. Could you press pause and put these numbers in order, again from smallest to largest, and then press play when you're ready for the next part. All right, second graders, so your numbers should be in order from smallest to largest. So you should have it in the same order that I have, 3, 7, 9, 12, 15, 20, 21. Now when we're finding the median, we want to try to find that middle number. So what I like to do is I cross off my smallest and then I cross off my largest. Then I'm going to go again to my next smallest and my next largest. I'm going to do that one more time, my smallest and my next largest, until I can find the middle number, which was 12. And then draw a circle around your median or your middle number. All right, let's try two more like that today. So if you can flip your paper over to the back side, and we'll talk about that first one, or number 2, first. So we have 5 people and they're talking about the height of each of them in inches. So could you press pause and write down the heights in order from the smallest to the largest, and then press play when you're ready to check. All right, second graders. So when I put those in order from smallest to largest, I had 56, 66, 68, 70, and 73. Now I need to find that middle number, and you maybe can see which number is going to be in the middle, but I also can cross off my smallest and then cross off my largest. Oops, I need to move that one over a little bit until I have one number left, and now I can see that my middle number is 68. We have one more problem to do today with this page. So if you look at number 3, and again, I'll flip mine so I'm looking at this page so I can see the full directions. Again, they're measuring them now in centimeters. So could you write down their height from smallest to largest, and then press play when you're ready to check? All right, so when I put them in order from smallest to largest, I had 142, then 168, 173, 178, 185. Now I'm going to find that middle number, and again, you maybe can already tell which one's the middle number, but once we get quite a few numbers, it's good practice to cross off the smallest and then the largest, and to keep going until there's one number left, which we should have 173 for our middle number, also known as the median. We'll work more on median in future lessons, but we do have a little bit more that we're going to do today, and we're going to work a little bit on measuring. So if you can open up your math journal to page 176, and you're going to want to use your template or a ruler for this. You're going to measure each of the items to the nearest inch, and then measure each of the items to the nearest centimeters, and record your answers in the blank spaces. So could you press pause and measure the pencil, screwdriver, and pen, and record your amounts, and then press play when you're ready to check? All right, second graders, and hopefully you made sure that you were lining up your 0 on the one end to be able to measure accurately. But when you measure the pencil, you should have had 7 inches, and then you should have had 17 centimeters. Now, if you had something different, I'd like you to try measuring that one more time to see if you can fix your mistake. When you measure the screwdriver, you should have had about 6 inches, and you should have had about 15 centimeters. When you measured the pen, you should have had 5 inches, and then you should have had 13 centimeters. And again, if you had any different measurements, try measuring that one more time to see if you can get it to line up more accurately. Now there are a few more problems. So now I'm going to take a look at 177, and I'm going to do the same thing with problems 4 and 5, measuring in both inches and centimeters. Then for problem number 6, I need to list the objects in order from shortest to longest. Could you press pause and solve problems 4, 5, and 6, and then press play when you're ready to check? All right, second graders, when I measured the bolt, I had 2 inches, and then I had 5 centimeters. When I measured the dandelion, it was about 4 inches, and it was about 11 centimeters. And again, if you had different measurements, you can try measuring it one more time. And then for question number 6, list the objects in order from the shortest to the longest. So I had the bolt was the shortest, then the leaf, followed by the pen, and then the screwdriver, and my longest one was the pencil. So double check to make sure that you have your pages correct before moving on to math boxes. Our math box page today is 178. I'll quickly talk about the directions, then I'll ask that you complete the page on your own. When you're all done, take a picture and add the picture to Seesaw for your classroom teacher. We will go over this page in our next video. So for question number 1, draw hands to show the time 4:15. For question number 2, use the chart, and then who read the most books or the maximum, and then who read the least books or the minimum. For question 3, there are 6 rooms. Each room has 4 windows. How many windows in all? And you can create an array to solve that problem. For question 4, fill in the missing numbers. For question 5, here's a picture of a pyramid. What is the shape of one of the faces? And then for question 6, color 5/8 of the rectangle. All right, I'll see you next time.